Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. I've had a few people asking me with the coming announcement, the excitement about the Nikon D820 or the D850, the successor to the 810, what I think it's going to be in comparison to the 5D4. People asking, is it going to be a 5D4 killer? Should I wait and buy the 820? Do I think, what do I think it's going to be as far as a competitor? And, some people would argue that it's not really going to be a competitor to the 5D4 because Canon's high resolution body is the 5DS. But I would argue that it is going to be a competitor in many, many ways. In other words, for the price, it's going to be probably around the same price as the 5D4, less expensive than the 5DS. It's going to be a 4K camera, which the 5DS is not. So it'll be a direct competitor to the 5D4 there. It's going to hit all the bases that all the things you can do with the 5DS4. So a direct competition to what it delivers. And in a lot of ways, it'll deliver a lot better than the 5DS, the 5D4. Did I just say 5DS4 earlier? So, and it will be roughly the same price point. Depending on what Nikon announces as a price point, it's even possible it could be at a lower price point, at which point I'm sure Canon would react and lower the price on the 5D4. Let's look at, we've got the rumored specs on the 820. And then we've got what we know about the 5D4. And so you could see the comparison. I mean, the 5D4 is sitting at what? It started out about $3,500. I think you can pick it up now for around $32. I think we'll see the 820 in that price range. It's going to be somewhere between $3,000 and $3,500. Even if it's $4,000, we've got a 46 megapixel sensor. I think is going to be the minimum. That's the rumored spec. I'm hoping for 80 to 100. That beats hands down the 30 megapixel sensor in the 5D4. And I think we could probably safely say it's going to outperform it because the D810's 36 megapixel sensor is already 6 more than the 5D4, and it outperforms the 5D4. So I think we're going to see a good bump in resolution over the 5D4 as well as better performing. So you'll have more resolution and better performance out of that higher resolution sensor. So right there, that's a 5D4 killer right there for a lot of people. Then we're going to see at least a tiltable LCD and I'm hoping a vari-angle LCD. So either way, better LCD option than on the 5D4 because we are going to have the ability to have a movable LCD. And that's a big thing for a lot of people, myself included. And then we've got also the AF system is going to be the flagship. It's going to be out of the D5. And while the 5D4 has a very good AF system, the D5 AF system is better. And so we're going to have a better AF system in the 820. So these things alone are enough to make it a 5D4 killer for a lot of people. A lot of people. The 4K feature, which I noticed Nikon rumors, as I said before, I didn't see that listed as them confirming that, but I'm positive that we will see 4K in the 820, in the 810's replacement. Reason being that all of Nikon's on board with this. Canon isn't, but Nikon is. All their recent DSLRs are 4K. They acknowledge and they understand that 4K is the de facto standard now, and it needs to be on their bodies to be competitive. The D500, the D5, the D7500, all these cameras have 4K. So we will see 4K on the 820. And the key here is that we will see it most likely, almost for sure, in a much more usable format, in a much more usable 4K, a much more video-friendly camera in the 820 to shoot 4K than what we have in the 5D4 with its somewhat crippled 4K and its bad codecs and whatnot. So the only real advantage I can see in the 5D4, when you look at these cameras being at a similar price point, would be the dual pixel AF, which is a true advantage for Canon because the dual pixel AF is phenomenal. That ability to follow a subject smoothly during video, the focus is following that subject smoothly without jerky movement and whatnot of the autofocus system. Canon's the king of that right now. And so that will be one huge advantage. Although we don't know what Nikon has come up with. I mean, this is not something that Canon is going to own the throne forever on that. Other companies are eventually going to figure out a form of dual pixel AF to compete. Maybe the 820 will be the one. I mean, it's going to be, as we think it's going to be Nikon's big 100th anniversary announcement, which makes me feel better because originally when we saw what they were announcing for their anniversary, I was like, well, that's disappointing. It's your 100th anniversary. Now, it sounds like we're going to have an awesome killer camera come out on the anniversary as an announcement. So it may well have some form of a dual pixel AF system that is hopefully equal to or maybe even better than Canon's, in which case it'll be a total 5D4 killer. And not only that, even if it's only at 46 megapixels, it'll be a much better camera than the 5DS and the 5DSR. So that'll make Canon pull up their socks. If it comes out with an 80 to 100 megapixel sensor, they could price this thing closer to $4,000 or $5,000, and it would sell like hotcakes. 80 to 100 megapixels, vari-angle LCD, D5 AF system, 4K. That's going to be a killer camera. It will basically kill anything in Canon's lineup. So, for those of you that have been asking, that's my opinion. I think even as the rumored specs are from Nikon rumors, it's going to be a 5D4 killer. If it comes out with the changes, the specs that I'm hoping for, the higher megapixel, the higher resolution 80 to 100 megapixel sensor, the full vari-angle LCD, and a good usable 4K, which I'm pretty sure it will on the 4K, then it's going to totally be a 5D4 killer. And it will also be a 5DS killer. And if they've managed to tweak some form of dual pixel AF, some competitor to that, it'll take out anything in Canon's arsenal. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you think it's going to be a killer of the 5D4 and even the 5DS? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know. You think that you're hopeful that the specs will be similar to what I'm saying, or do you think that as rumored it will still be as I think? Or do you disagree? Do you think that it won't be? Do you think that there's strengths in the 5D4 that make it that it won't be such a killer? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Let's discuss it. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.